Jordan, thank you. You know, a lot of you are still processing the impact of that huge Equifax breach we told you about last week. Half of the population had some of their personal information stolen. This morning, we have tech expert Dave Hatter here to explain what happened and tell us if there's any way to avoid it in the future. Good morning.
Good morning, Jessica.
So glad to have you with us. This is a really important topic here.
It really is.
A lot of people affected by this.
Yeah.
How did this even happen?
Well, there was a flaw in a piece of software that they use called Apache Struts. It's a very common piece of software. Roughly 65% of the Fortune 500 uses it on their websites. The hackers basically exploited a known flaw. One of these flaws in Struts has been around since 2008. So they got in, they stole the information on roughly 143 million people. That's what's known so far. You know, that information didn't come out to July 29th. They knew about it beforehand. That's another one of the issues here. And a lot of times when these kind of breaches happen, if you remember, Yahoo had information stolen on 1 billion people. This information trickles out over time as they learn more through the forensics of the investigation, trying to figure out what happened and what information has been compromised. And this one is just really, really bad.
Yeah, it's scary to think about. If this is a software issue, and if other folks use this software, could this potentially happen again?
It could, and hopefully other companies are now aware of this, and they've either already patched the problem beforehand because they were being proactive, or certainly I would hope are working on it now.
What should folks do if they are affected, and how can they tell if they are in general?
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot of things you can do. Unfortunately, some of it requires you to just be vigilant yourself, because you're going to have to look at your bank statements or any kind of statements you're getting from anywhere. The hackers basically got a treasure trove of information, because even if you're not directly a customer of Equifax, they have information about you because they're one of the big 3 credit unions. So they're collecting all this personal information. Hackers have that. They could go out and potentially perpetrate any kind of identity theft, create accounts under your name using information that was stolen. You got to watch your bank statements. You can go to annualcreditreport.com and get a credit report that you're entitled to once a year. That will give you some idea of activity, at least where you were, and set a baseline for future activity. You can freeze your credit file. That will stop someone from opening new accounts in your name. You can look for identity theft. You can go to identitytheft.gov. The FTC has a lot of information about identity theft and how to protect yourself from this kind of breach. I would encourage people to go there. Equifax on their site, equifaxsecurity2017.com, which you guys were showing earlier. You can go there, enter some information. They'll tell you if you've been impacted by this. You can sign up for their credit monitoring service, which is kind of ironic because they provide these services and yet have been hacked. There was some concern that in their terms and conditions, there was language that said if you sign up for this, you waive your right to sue. That's been cleared up. Equifax has come out and said that's not an issue. You can go find that online. Yeah, so I would encourage you to do that. Equifax has a FAQ, a frequently asked questions list, on that security site that explains in detail what happened, what they're doing. So there's plenty of information out there. You know, you can just Google this thing if you can't remember all these URLs I'm throwing out. Plenty of information, but you know, you do need to look into this. You do need to be vigilant, because bad people are going to use this information against you.
Absolutely. We're talking about 143 million people affected. There's a good chance it could be you. So definitely check. We're going to put that website on our website at fox19now.com so you can go and see if you are one of those people who are falling victim to this.
Hopefully you're not, but good likelihood you are.
Dave, thank you so much for your advice and your information. We appreciate it. We're going to put all the details once again on our website and, of course, on our mobile app.